Welcome back to Newsviews. I'm Judy Sue. My guest here this morning is Betsy Ziegler, the new CEO of the Chicago Tech Hub, 1871, and the first female CEO in that position here. Let's talk a little bit about you. So you came to this position from Northwestern.
Correct,
you were the Chief Innovation Officer. You talked a lot about, the collaboration between university, community, and corporation. Do you foresee that expanding under your leadership?
For sure. I mean, I think it's one of the central themes, frankly, of 1871, this opportunity to partner and collaborate with lots of institutions around the city. We owe it to the city of Chicago, frankly, to stitch the story of all of us and how our combined impact, the impact of that to the city is massive.
So let's talk about the story of Betsy. And how did you get into the tech space, and was it difficult for you as a woman?
Yeah. So I believe sort of the story of your life is the summary of all the choices that you've made to date, right? And so I started to get more connected into tech about a decade ago when I started as an angel investor to young companies here in Chicago. And so I was in my role at Northwestern, or leaving McKinsey, entering my role at Northwestern, and I met a young entrepreneur here in the city of Chicago, and I decided to contribute some money to his company, and then the bug. I caught the bug almost immediately, and so for almost the last decade, I've been an active investor, advisor, mentor, coach to young companies, many of whom are in Chicago and the Midwest. And so that really got me connected to the ecosystem, and that, with my role at the university, led me into 1871.
But you also had an interesting transition from McKinsey to higher education at Northwestern. How did you do that?
I did. I was at McKinsey. I was a partner in the insurance practice. I did do a lot of work in technology and operations, but I was doing insurance work. And in 2009, when the economy turned, I had the opportunity to do some different kinds of work. I served my undergrad alma mater, Ohio State, and I got really excited about the portability of my skills to serve a nonprofit, and certainly nonprofits that I care a lot about, and decided to leave McKinsey and pursue a role in higher education. I didn't have any connections in that space, but I happened to read an article in Chicago about the 7 people to watch in Chicago in 2011, and on the cover of that article was the now dean at the Kellogg School of Management, Sally Blount. And so, I'm not an alum of the school, but I thought, well,
can't hurt.
It can't hurt. I'm gonna email her. I didn't have an iPhone at the time on my BlackBerry, right? Pick it out, send her a note saying, McKinsey partner leaving, thinking about higher ed. Would you spend 30 minutes with me on the phone? And she invited me to lunch, and sort of the rest is history, we shall say.
Yeah, change that trajectory of your career.
Yeah, but I think it's really important to. The lesson from all of that for me is to act with intention and to have a point of view of what you're trying to do, and not be afraid to take these risks, which in reality, the risk wasn't that hard, right? I mean, sending an email,
right?
I mean, the worst thing that would happen is that she would say she wouldn't answer.
Best advice to entrepreneurs out there?
I think 2 things. One is quiet the inner critic and, put your ideas out there and talk about what you're excited about doing. And the second is to find your people, join a community, be part of a group like we have at 1871 to build energy around yourself.
Looking ahead in the near future, the biggest challenge you see in the tech space and what excites you the most?
Yeah. Well, let me talk about the 3 things that I think are going to be really important for us going forward. I think the first thing is to extend the reach and relevance of 1871 across the whole city. So we have an opportunity through live and digital feed, as well as through partnerships, to extend our reach into the south and west side of the city, so that we bring all the potential entrepreneurs into our family and our community. That's number 1. The second one is to build greater partnerships with the large companies in our backyard. We've got 36 Fortune 500 companies right here that we have an opportunity to really partner with. And the third is to partner across the whole ecosystem to better tell the Chicago tech story. So, what is the Chicago tech story? 1871 has a big role to play in it, but we're not the only one. And so how do we corral everybody to make sure that we're driving the most impact to our region?
And the one thing you're most excited about in the next 5 years?
Boy, that's a hard one. I think it's really about working in and day out with these young, with these entrepreneurs building young companies.
All right, Betsy Ziegler, the new CEO of 1871. Thank you so much for joining us here for Newsviews. And that does it for us on this Sunday. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now let's go back to the news desk.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.